even the infamous Kobe check, and then y'all got cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Were y'all cool beforehand?
Well, I wouldn't even call it a friend. It was just a mutual respect because I would see Kobe UCLA all the time in his early years because, you know, there was a little bit of a disconnect. He was a young kid coming to LA and, you know, so he was at UCLA a lot. You would have thought he was a student as much as we saw him up there. So I wouldn't call him a friendship, but we definitely ran across each other and said what up. But, you know, the ball fake kind of just happened, but really that led us to becoming teammates and friends, and then deeper than that, became brothers.
All righty, big boy, we hanging out, man. Matt Barnes, welcome to the Hangout, my brother.
Man, it's good to be here.
I know, man. Matt, how tall are you?
6'8", last I checked.
6'8".
Yeah.
Were you 6'8" in the roster?
Yeah.
Oh, so you never did the 6'10" or anything like that?
Nah.
When did you know that you started, like, growing? Did you have a growth spurt?
Yeah, I had a couple growth spurts. I think 8th grade to 9th grade, I went from, like, 5'10" to 6'4" in that summer.
Jesus
And then from 6'4" to 6'8" by my junior year of high school. And then
So you've been 6'8" since you were, like, 16?
17, yeah.
Damn. Did you know y'all, well, I guess height-wise, you always knew you wanted to play basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I was a football player first,
Yeah.
to be honest. I mean, I played everything, and that's what I don't like about this generation, unfortunately, of kids that kind of have to be sports-specific. But I played football, baseball, basketball, and track in high school, All-American in football and basketball, and just felt there'd be a little bit more longevity in football, so in basketball, so I went with basketball.
Hey, man, and let me touch on, when you said, because we grew up in an era where people played multiple sports.
Yeah.
And now my son play basketball, your boys play basketball. And I even saw like your 1-year-old. I'm ready to go ahead and put some money into him right now. And the other one was what, 6?
6, yeah.
So we played other sports. I'm talking like I'm a professional basketball player shit. But now they zero in.
Yeah, I don't like
your
it.
boys zero in. My son played early football, soccer, but when they know that it's basketball or whatever sport, they kind of that's what they set in on. Is that what you get with your boys? Right now with
no,
the
I'm not a fan of that, to be honest with you, because I felt like a little piece of every sport I played helped me play 15 years of professionally. But it's crazy from a standpoint now where if you are a child and you do play another sport, you almost get behind in your other sport, your main sport, because sports used to be seasonal when we were growing up. It was basketball season, it was football season, it was baseball season, and then track. So it's just like now that it's such a money grab for the people running it, sports is year round. So anytime you take a break and play another sport or just take a break, it's almost like you're getting behind the 8 ball. So I understand why people have to stay on the hamster wheel, but I would much rather prefer to be able to go back because kids burn out. You're training the same, particularly in basketball. You're running on a hard wooden floor every single day of your life. You're training the same muscles, the muscle memory. So you're not doing it outside of the norm, and I think that's why we're seeing so many injuries now. I think kids are playing just way too much basketball if they actually even get there. You know, the likeliness of getting to the league is, you know, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning, but you're seeing a lot of these kids.
Man, hopefully I get struck by lightning.
No, not
you know
at
what
all.
I'm saying? No, you be like, man,
Not
I
at
hope
all.
my kid gets struck by lightning, Jack.
The money lightning, the lightning train. But yeah, it's just like you see a lot of these kids either burn out or injuries because it's just the same grind and beat up on their body year in, year out.
What does that do for you as a dad that's been there as a professional NBA player?
Why
as well?
I hold them back in certain. I don't let them play on 2 or 3 different AAU teams. You know, we play on one AAU team. We don't do a ton of crazy work. I mean, they get their work in, they work hard, and they play, but I don't let them do the outside extra, go play on another team and just getting more miles on their legs. Like, it's really – and one thing I really like to train my kids, too, is on the mental side because, I mean, we were talking about social media in there. It's just kids have so many different things to worry about and pay attention to, and we have to try to shield them from. So I really, on the Twins, really just about the mental approach to life. On and off the court, you're always being watched, and understand that because of what I've done, good or bad, people are going to be judging you and watching you and hoping you succeed and hoping you fail at the same time. So it's just that mental grind, because I feel like if kids are fortunate enough to make it, once you get there, it's 90% mental. We can all jump, shoot, run, do all the other shit. So you got to be mentally locked in to have some kind of longevity.
Hey, man, when you see your kids, bro, and knowing that you've been there, you know, sometimes you're scared for what your kids could have in front of them, kind of thing. But you want your kids, of course, to go to the league.
I would like, if that's what they
but
want.
But does that scare you with everything, with the popularity the people that want to get next to you for the wrong reasons. And I think that's what, when you say preparing them for the mental,
Yeah.
I think that's the things that
Yeah,
we're
I mean,
talking about.
you know, you don't want to completely shield them because you don't want them to be naive to this cold, crazy world. But you know, I think that I've gamed the twins enough. I've been gaming them for so long off the court that I think they'll be pretty much ready for whatever is thrown your way. And this just kind of goes for parenting as a whole. I mean, you don't want the internet to raise your kids. You don't want their friends to raise your kids. So I was always caution on the side of like giving them information maybe a little earlier, just because I knew it was coming down the pipeline. So
How do you do your enoughs though? Because you've been there, and your kids are most likely, well, hell, AAU, they're probably getting coached by somebody that never played basketball.
Well, I
But
coached them
high
in
school.
AAU.
Okay.
And then
High
Derek
school
coached
they're
them in high
playing.
school.
Yeah, and Derek got.
Yeah.
How does it feel just being a dad?
I
and
like
knowing,
that side.
Okay, cool.
I like
because
that
there's
side.
sometimes, man, where it's like, how do you separate and
Yeah.
be dad enough, and you know, let the coach do his kind of gig enough when you've been there and you've done that?
It's important. I mean, and the twins are lucky. I mean, they have a dad that played 15 years and a stepdad that played 15 years and won 5 rings. You know what I mean? And he's the high school coach and I'm the AAU coach. So I feel like they're getting a lot of, again, mental and preparation. But I always think it's great to hear other voices. But I was also coach. I coached the twins since they were 8 years old and they're 16 now. But I was never a daddy ball type coach because I felt like.
What do you trip off for when you see that though? Because
I just
been
think
at games and you seen dads.
I think you set your kids up for failure because you're not always going to be their coach. And if you're handing them stuff they don't deserve or giving them playing time they don't deserve or running plays from they don't deserve, I feel like you're setting them up for failure in the long run because you're not always going to be there to soften the fall or to, you know, push them to the front of the line. So my twins found out early on. I mean, my twins were, when we first started, were good. And then they loved video games more than they loved playing. So we went from, you know, 8-year-old being really good, 9-year-old being really good, 10-year-old kind of start to fall the middle of the pack, 11-year-old, 12-year-old, you're kind of sitting in the middle now. So one twin was starting, one twin was coming off the bench. Kobe worked them out and kind of put like a little flash in their mind of, hey, this is what you need to do to get better. It probably still took maybe another 2 years for them to really kind of want to do it themselves because I never forced them. They love video games. I let them play video games. I let them know. Like I remember actually the Kobe. So we did a surprise workout for them when they were 10 from Kobe, and Kobe's like, "What are they into? What's their goals? What they want to do?" It's like, "Bro, all they play is video games." So right when we got to the workout with Kobe, he's like, "You know, where you guys want to go to college?" And simultaneous UCLA. Kobe's like, "You guys ain't going to UCLA," and they're like, "Huh?" He's like, "Your dad said all you want to do is play video games. Like, you can go if you're smart and have good grades, but you're not going to go to play basketball." And they're like, "Oh, shit." You know what I mean? So I kind of think that woke them up a little bit. And then I say by the time they were about 13, they really wanted, like, Dad, we want to train. We want to do this. We want to do that. And I put them in line with the best I can find because, again, I want them to have a different voice, a different point of view. I don't want to have to always be the one that's trying to hammer principles and details into their head. So, you know, I feel like it takes a community to raise people, and I feel like it also takes a community to help these athletes get to where they're trying to go.
Hey, Matt, how do you feel about, like, holdbacks? It seemed like that was such the thing with my son, Jaden. We heard, "Oh, you guys got to hold him back. You guys got to hold him back." And we were just, you know, academically, I didn't want to hold him back. You know, in sports, I didn't want to hold him back.
Right.
You know, and to each his own. But how did are
It's
your
different
boys
because
holdbacks?
no, my kids are the real grade,
And they
real
young,
age,
though.
yeah. So it's different because I remember coming up, like my whole thing was playing up. Like to tell me to play down, are you crazy? Like I was in 8th grade walking across the street to the high school and playing with the varsity kids in 8th grade. I was playing with 17, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids when I was 13 years old, going to the park and hooping with grown men. So this new generation of holdbacks is crazy. And again, to each his own, because there are benefits from holding back. But I'm just not a fan of kids who are holding back once or twice, but I'm seeing mixtapes and highlight tapes all the time. Like, you're supposed to be killing. You're 15 playing against 13-year-olds. You're supposed to be killing these kids. Yeah. So it's a wave, you know, whether we like it or not, it's here. My kids haven't done it. But again, I'm not opposed to it. I just, you know, I want them to have an understanding. Okay, take advantage of this extra year you're getting because it's going to benefit you, but don't I don't like the way it's kind of celebrated on social media with all these mixtapes and highlight tapes. I'm thinking like, bro, you're 2 or 3 years older than the kids you're playing. You're supposed to be doing this. You know what I mean? Just go about your business to get better.
Hey, man, how many teams did you play for?
I played for 18 years, 8 teams in 15 years.
8 teams in 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name them all off the dome right now?
My first 4 years, I played for 4 different teams. Off the dome, let's go. Clippers.
Hold on, this is my wife right here.
Yeah.
Hold on for her a second. Sorry about this. You know, keep going though. Hello, baby. I'm doing a hangout with Matt. What's going down? We're live right now. Okay.
Hey,
okay.
Vetta.
Matt said, "Hey, Vetta." She said, "Hello." I'll call you right back after we finish. All right, cool. Sorry, I had to take that, man. I don't know if she wanted me to come home and do it to her or not.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
On the real, man, I gotta. I would have, Matt. I love you, bro. But if she would have been like, "Baby, I won," I would have left this motherfucker so quick, Jack.
Hey, I would have applauded you.
Yeah.
8 so Clippers, Kings, Philly, Knicks, Golden State, Phoenix, Orlando, Lakers, Memphis.
What's your retirement? When you say, what team do you say, man, I played for this one? This is either it's your official retirement team or your announcement. Like,
I mean, being in LA, they lean on the Lakers heavy.
Yeah.
You know,
because I know I do. That's why I asked you the question.
So yeah, and being in LA, I mean, obviously it's a Laker town, and will always be a Laker town. But I cheer for 3 teams, and that's the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Warriors. Obviously, I'm fans of other players. But those are the teams that I cheer for as a retired fan of the game now.
Do you miss the game?
I don't.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I think, I was blessed.
I missed this light to just cut the fuck off over here. Did y'all catch that? Anybody catch that? Trying to play it off and shit. Go ahead.
No, I mean, between college, I played 4 years of college. I almost played 20 years of, high-level basketball. So I felt like it was a blessing. It was a dream come true. But at the same time, once I became a father, I was missing so much stuff with the boys. So I actually retired my first year into a 3-year deal just to come back and be a dad that could take his kid to school and coach.
That's the commitment we don't see, huh?
Nah, and it's, obviously being you're not supposed to be, if you're supposed to be a good dad, you know what I mean? So it's not like I try to promote it or celebrate it, but I just felt like as a hands-on dad, I was missing the first of a lot, plays and birthdays and school events and games and stuff, and I'm just like, I can't get none of this shit back.
It's wild how we'll sit home with our family to watch the Christmas games.
Yeah.
And you're sitting here and you're watching people that's like had to leave their families.
Yeah. I want to say I played like 5 or 6 Christmas Day games, and I mean, although it's a blessing to play on Christmas Day, it's a hectic because especially if you got kids. I mean,
man,
you're
but you
throwing.
Don't miss like the locker room.
I don't miss playing. I miss the camaraderie. Yeah. I miss the locker room. I miss the plane flights, the bus rides, the dinners, because obviously playing the game was a blast and I love doing it. But just those locker room where you just had a tough ass practice and you just sit in the locker room for 3 hours and just chop it up with the homies, or the bus rides, the plane flights where you're gambling and having a good time and having some drinks. And I miss all that kind of stuff, but I didn't really miss the just the actual getting out there and playing, because it was a great job, but towards the end it became a job because, again, I was traveling. The season's 8 months. I'm gone 4.5 of those months, and you miss a lot of kid time and family time.
Hey, man, when you look at basketball now, has basketball changed?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
But I'm not one of those older dudes that hates on what the game has become. It's definitely become more of an offensive game, and I think that's how the game has grown to the caliber it is, and that's why it's a worldwide game now. That's why you see such a European influx of talent coming in. So I'm not mad. I wish this last playoffs I really liked the physicality of what the refs were allowed, what these guys were allowed to do, and I hope that kind of carries over to this season. But these kids are really talented, are really skilled. I feel like these kids are more skilled and talented. You can put them up against any generation, but I feel like some of them lack a little bit of the IQ of the game because all of this personal training now is all head down, dribble, step back, dribble.
Three-pointers, man. Yeah, it's like everybody got to have a three-point shot now.
Well, I feel like, Steph was a gift and a curse to this game because everyone, although Steph did it, everyone thinks that they could do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he changed not even just the NBA, the way basketball is played, period now, I feel like it's the Steph Curry and Klay Thompson effect. But those are two of the greatest shooters, if not the two greatest shooters we've ever seen. But now everyone feels like, you know, shooting the three balls is what you need to be able to do to succeed.
Are the big men gone?
Yeah.
Damn.
You have to be more skilled now. You can't. There's no more back to basket, but all this stuff goes in waves. So maybe it could possibly come back. But you see the Embiids who would be a back to the basket. You see the Jokic back in my day when I came in the league. Those would be back to the basket centers. But you see these guys bringing the ball up, running screen and roll, shooting threes. So the versatility again and the skill set has changed. I mean, these guys are more skilled now. So it's just like, I don't know if the traditional back to the basket will ever come back. But we'll have to see.
If you could suit up and play today, and you probably get this all the time. If you could suit up and play for one team today,
I would play. I'd probably play with LeBron. I would want to see what it's like to play with. I mean, I got a chance to play with Kobe and Allen Iverson and Shaq and Chris Paul and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, but you know, Bron was always, you know, one of the greatest players of all time. He was just always you know, I always had to play against him. I never got a chance to play with him.
But you always been like a take no shit basketball player. Too,
Yeah.
You know, even the infamous Kobe check, and then y'all got cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Were y'all cool beforehand?
Well, I wouldn't even call it a friend. It was just a mutual respect because I would see Kobe UCLA all the time in his early years because, you know, there was a little bit of a disconnect. He was a young kid coming to LA and, you know, so he was at UCLA a lot. You would have thought he was a student as much as we saw him up there. So I wouldn't call him a friendship, but we definitely ran across each other and said what up. But, you know, the ball fake kind of just happened. But really that led us to becoming teammates and friends. And then deeper than that, became brothers.
Where were you at when Kobe passed?
I was at my house in the Bay. Crazy as not, Kobe just sent the Twins AU team shoes. So they all had the Kobe's on. And I still had a house in the Bay. I was right when I'm 2 or 3 years out of my retirement. So we were up in the Bay playing in a tournament. And I remember I was down. I had a tri-level house, so my room was at the very bottom. So I was actually down in my room smoking with some of the dads, and the kids were at the very top playing video games and playing. And we were about to leave it was a Sunday. We were about to leave for the championship game, and one of the dads hit me like, Kobe died. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. So I wasn't really paying attention. And then he's like, nah. He's like, there was a helicopter crash. Kobe just died, and I just froze and chills, and I couldn't move. I sat there for a minute, and then I went upstairs, and by that time, the kids had heard about it, and I see that just the tears in the Twins' eyes because he was really Uncle Kobe to them. I mean, I started playing with the Lakers when the Twins were 3, and from the very first time, he hugged them and gave them shoes, and literally every time a shoe dropped, he gave them shoes. Still, I mean, Vanessa, shout out to Vanessa, to this day, every time a Kobe drops, the Twins are one of the first kids to get them. But he actually started sending their whole team shoes once they started playing basketball. So I just knew how important he was to them and how he embraced my sons, which was something that really, you know, I had a lot of love for him for. So that was tough, man. Obviously, you know, losing a brother and a teammate, but just what he meant to so many people was heavy.
Hey, man, didn't that feel unbelievable?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it started with Nip. You know, Nip passed, I think, March, and then Kobe passed in January, and it was just, it was a huge, I mean, I get chills still talking about it, and we're, 5 or 6 years removed, you know, from these guys passing, but you just don't think superheroes, in Kobe's sense, you don't think superheroes die.
Dude,
you know, superheroes don't die.
Because you were here, like, for your life, you always heard, where were you? Where were you?
Yeah.
You know? And with Kobe, same with Nip, I knew exactly where I was at.
Me too.
Exactly.
I want to say, were they both on Sundays?
I know that Nip was on,
Nip was on a
Nip
Sunday.
was on a Sunday.
I was cleaning my pantry out.
Yeah.
And one of my homies came and was like, yo, Nip just got shot. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. So I started making calls like, nah, you guys, like, did he die? I was like, nah, we're not sure. We know he got shot. But I was cleaning my pantry out on a Sunday. And then again, in the January when it came, I was, you know, about to go coach the Twins in a basketball game. And it was just like, yeah, I knew exactly what I was and where I was doing when both of those unfortunate things happened.
Yeah, like with Cole, I remember being in the car. I remember, man, it was like, it's like a movie in my head where we were driving. And I remember I'm driving and my wife, Veronica, sitting next to me. And I heard her say, Kobe died. And I'm literally like, you know, like this. And at that time, it was early, so Remember Rick Fox was on the plane.
A bunch
This
of
was
different people
everybody
on the
was on the
plane.
plane.
Yeah.
And then in no time, it started to kind of like, you know, sort itself out. And the same with Nip. Literally, he passed on the same day my mom passed, March
really?
31st. You know, but she was 1999, and I was literally just coming back from her grave because I never really went to my mom's grave. The one time that I go, I'm coming back, and I'm on the 405, and I'm like, man, I gotta call Nip because I just had a comedy show. And he was supposed to have did me one of those, yeah, you know, check out Big Boy Comedy Show, a promo. And so I literally was
That
going to
day?
call him to tell him, because my show was that weekend.
Okay.
But he didn't give me the promo. So I was going to call him and say, oh,
Talk
man,
shit to him?
yeah, man, we sold out. I didn't get the promo from, you know, just fucking with him like
Right.
I would. But I didn't call him. And when I got to the house, I was like, oh, I'll call him. Fuzzy called me. And Fuzz was like, man, he said, something's going on at Marathon. You know, they saying such and such. So I told him, I said, bro, well, get closer. And then that's when he called me back and was like, man, I heard, you know, Nip got shot, so on and so forth. So I called somebody that's close. So I called J-Rock. J-Rock didn't answer. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Then I talked to somebody else, and they, you know, they confirmed
I
it.
seen, because I met Nip. So my brother always used to find me music. So when I got to L.A. with the Lakers, I want to say in the 10-11 season, my brother just thrown me all kinds of Nip music, and I was just fucking with it heavy. So I DM'd him, and I want to say, who was it? I'm drawing blank. I DM'd him. He hit me back quick, and then he came to a couple games. I was like, oh, dude, it's cool.
And it's early Nip,
This
though.
is early
Yeah.
Nip. This is before, like, any major album. I think Bullets Ain't Got No Name probably came out maybe a year before that, if I'm not mistaken. But I was just on him early, so whenever they would come, and he used to do, like, a lot of these dive bars in the South Bay, and that's when I was playing for the Lakers, so they would hit me up, and I would go to these things. So it was funny. I got called in the office one day to the Lakers, and they're just like, are you good? Everything good? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, how are you adjusting? Everything was cool. Like, they didn't really know how to say it. They're pretty much trying to say, like, you know, who have you been hanging out with? Because I'm not new to it, but I never prescribed to the gang shit. You know what I mean? But, you know, I was hanging out with 60s, smoking weed as a Laker. You know, they're just like, is that dude plays for, you know what I mean? So that was just cool. You know, I was just cool. I was cool. I'm cool with everybody. So I remember the Lakers that called me and just like, hey, and I kind of told them, like, no, that's just a friend of mine who raps. You know, I'm not involved in none of the street shit. I just, you know, hang out and appreciate, okay, well, just make sure you stay safe because we heard those are dangerous, you know. They kind of tried to give me, like, the pre-heads up to it. But funny, I say all that to say I saw him, I want to say, like, a week before he passed, the 405 exit on Sepulveda. There's an Exxon right when you get off there. And you can pull in. I was pulling in my car. And he had this big, the black, was it a Maybach or Rolls Royce he had? But I just saw one skinny leg with a high sock and a Chuck Taylor on. I'm like, who's that skinny nigga in front of me? Because he was kind of in my, like, his car was so big, it was kind of in my spot too to get gas. And so long story short, I pull in, start getting gas. I sit back in the car and he gets out and it's him. And I was like, oh, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And it was dope because I had told him, like, bro, I remember when you had the little white BMW or the white Mercedes, the little drop top white Mercedes. I was just like, bro, you came along. I'm so happy for you. And then we just kind of chopped it up real quick. A week before. So it was almost like a catch up, but almost giving them flowers, like, to see, like, where you've come over the time I've known you, man, has been beautiful. And just congratulate. He's like, oh, MB, I got a lot more. I got a lot more. You know, man. So he was just so adamant about what else he was doing. But to see him week or 10 days before he passed is crazy. And then again, go ahead.
When people say going too soon, because even with Kobe too, man, you know, that was like, what was next? You know what I'm saying? Like, you see people and what he was doing with his daughter and what he was doing with, you know, with girls in the league, supporting the WNBA, you know, the accolades, the writing, just everything was like this. And the same with Nip. We were just like, man, what's next? I
feel like, I mean, and you were in the space of this time, but I was kind of too young. But when Biggie and Pac died, like, you felt like there was probably going to be so much more growth. Man. Like, damn, we were really, that was taken from us. But to have these two dudes that I call brothers and friends taken, it was just like, because it went Nip, and then it went Kobe, and then it went the pandemic. It felt like this shit just fell all apart after them. So it was just a bad time. And again, those are two. I was glad that people really got to learn, because although Nip was big, Nip wasn't as big as he was gonna be. He had a huge fan base, don't get me wrong, but I think a lot more people learned about him once he passed and just understood the magnitude of the man he was and what he represented.
Pac too.
Yeah,
there's people that's diehards with Pac, and I'm like, some weren't even born.
Yeah.
Or some, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just great body of music and just things that they left you with. So when people say, oh, the marathon continues, like it sounds such like, oh, it's a phrase, but that's so real. And when you see what Sam and the team are doing with Marathon Burgers and the clothing line and the real estate, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and then I think we also learn from that too. You know what I'm saying? You learn from somebody being taken away, or what your hustle is, or what you learn from them, or what your impact may be, you know. And I think, you know, as sad as it is, I think you do have to like, what did I learn from this so-called bad that's going to make me, the community, my generation, whatever, good. Yeah. And I think that's what you got to gather.
No,
from
and it was both. And I remember one thing Kobe said. He's like, you know, we all make the mistake of thinking we have tomorrow. You know what I mean? Or think we have more time. I don't remember exactly, because one of his quotes, we all make the mistake of thinking that tomorrow, or we have more time, or tomorrow's promised, or. And it's just crazy the way the shit Nip rapped about, you know, if I'm gone, do so and so and so is. So it's just like, God damn, like you just know where they were both headed. One thing about Kobe, I remember we did his last interview. He was so adamant. It was weird, so because we had to go out to Orange County and interview him at his office, and we went in his office while they were setting up the cameras and shit. And he was so adamant. Like when I tell you, big adamant about like, I don't want people to know these last 20 years. I'm like, motherfucker, you're a 5-time champ, one of the greatest players of all. He's just like, MB, wait till you see what I had. Like, he was the fund and the books and the Oscar. Like, he was just so ready. Like, he was the one. I already had, obviously, a mean hustle mentality, but he was the one that just said, you know, like, we used to have to get up at 5 in the morning and get on the track or get in the weight room. Like, now we get up at 5 in the morning and get on emails and hit people back. You know, on the East Coast, they're already got their work day started. So he's just like, athletes have a natural upper hand when you apply the principles and discipline that it took for us to get here. When you apply that shit to business, it's a breeze. Like, he was ready to like kill he's like, wait till they see these next 20 years. I'm like, damn, I don't doubt it.
That's wild, because people always say the rear view mirror, right?
Yeah.
And I say, man, what's the windshield?
Yeah.
And I think that's what Kobe was when he had that conversation with you. It's more about what's in the windshield.
Coming. What's coming.
Do you trip off of where you are too now, Matt? Because I remember Matt, of course, basketball. But I remember just coming in and interviewing you as Matt Barnes, you know, basketball player.
Yeah.
And now you look at where you are with your imprint as far as all the smoke.
It's been,
you know, you
crazy,
being a voice and you sitting down interviewing people. You interviewing people that I can't even fucking get to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, this motherfucker got this person.
Yeah.
But does that trip you out?
It
like
does.
The after, the so-called after basketball life?
I think because I mean, I was well aware. I was a role player. I wasn't no star. I wasn't an all-star. And I feel like the things I've been able to do post-career that are kind of only limited to guys that were all-stars or superstars or friends, you know what I mean? So I feel like I've been able to kind of have a blue-collar lane where I've been able to succeed as if I was a 10-time all-star and have the opportunities. I just feel like I'm super blessed. But I don't take it for granted. I mean, again, I'm a huge fan of yours and grew up, like I moved to LA in '98. I've been in LA ever since. I mean, like your voice got us through so many different things. And I always wondered, like, damn, what's it like to be a trusted voice? Like people trust what you say. And I'm in that position now where I am a trusted voice. And I don't take that shit for granted because I feel like, unfortunately, a lot of people take that for granted. And they start going weird ways with it, gossiping and doing all kinds of other shit and disrespecting and downplaying people and downplaying legacies. And it's just like, man, it's a not a heavy burden, but I feel like there's a responsibility when you're a trusted voice. And it's something I don't take for granted. To be able to do what I've done with a show concept that I had, that all I really wanted to do was be able to smoke weed and talk to people.
Right.
And it turned into a whole entire company now where we're launching the NFL side of our company in the fall. We're in talks with Major League Baseball. We're in talks with another big league that I can't necessarily mention yet. So we'll be in basketball, boxing, MMA, NFL, and Major League Baseball by the middle of next year. So
did you see it, or you kind of
no clue?
That's crazy, right?
Because I never had any intention. You know, I came from an era of, because I caught the beginning of social media. So I came from an era where talking to the media was like almost talking to the cops. You know what I mean? Like there was just such a distrust because what we said they could twist and turn and put some shit out. Like I didn't say that, but we didn't have no platform to fight that. You know what I mean? So it was such a huge shift for me. Like when I first got out the league, I made some good investments, but I really wanted to be kind of like the shield for the players in the NBA. I wanted to fight the NBA on cannabis. So I was flying back and forth to the NBA, to the league office and the Players Association just about studying the plant, understanding the plant. You guys are feeding us a bunch of these pills that are masking one thing and causing long-term side effects. Like, you guys just need to study this plant and see the benefits of it. So I was really big on the cannabis push to legalization. So I never saw media anywhere in that. But a friend of mine just like, you were really well-spoken. You should give media a try. And I'm just like, nah, I'm cool. And then I finally ended up doing it and liking it. And then I kind of felt like it was easy. And then I saw the kind of money they were paying. I'm like, shit, I'm in here. And, so ESPN and Fox gave me opportunities. I signed a long-term deal with ESPN. And it just opened up my mind to more like, this is dope, but that's Disney. I know I got to walk a straight line. I'm a habitual line stepper. Like, how can I kind of change? How can I change this up and kind of make it more me? So, when we launched our show, I want to say there was Knuckleheads came with Q Rich and D Miles. Shout out to the homies. But I really think like we came in this space and kicked the door open. Now you think about how many sports podcasts as a whole there are. Like we're one of the OGs really in this space. And that wasn't even something I thought about. I wanted to give my brothers and sisters an opportunity to speak their truths. Because I felt like myself and Jack, there was such a misconception on who we were as people. How do we really show the world, who we really are? And I wanted to give other people that opportunity. But at the whole time I was doing it, I was also not knowing I was inspiring other people because, again, I'm more attainable. As I said earlier, like I wasn't a superstar. So they're like, shit, well, if Matt can do it, I could do it. And that's what I wanted. Like once I realized what I was doing, that's the kind of thinking I wanted. I was like, man, anyone can do this shit if you apply yourself to it.
Have you made more money, and not going into your pocket, here than in basketball?
I will.
I
will, for sure. No question. I'm making basketball money now. So it's
body feel good.
Yeah, I don't have
travel when you want.
Yeah, come on, man. I get to be a dad. You know what I mean? Yeah. I get to golf.
Man, how do you hold your after career body though? Because sometimes you'll see basketball players.
It got sloppy for a minute, big. I ain't gonna lie to you. I remember some shit. I remember when I was younger, like when my mom would just have a long day and she would come home or after dinner she would just kind of undo the top buttons on her pants.
Yeah.
Big, I was at an ESPN desk unbuttoning my top pants like shit. I can't even, because I had my suits that I used to play in.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So I had to like, what made me start working out was I was at the ESPN desk with the top button undone on my shit. Like, okay, I got to get it together, bro. So that, and then just being in front of the camera.
Right.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately, you see a lot of guys kind of let it go because I get it. Like I almost let it go because we had to be the best shape of our lives and do everything right for so long.
And it was a lifestyle
like
too.
Yeah, you finally want to just, man, fuck it. Let me get some McDonald's. Let me chill out. Let me eat these cookies. You know what I mean? So I get how some guys let it go, but just I think having to be on camera and knowing I'm going to be on camera, I can't let it go all the way.
You said at one point you did though.
Yeah, right, bro. I kid you not. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I would always like if we ever had to go up to the monitor, I'd have to quickly button my pants up and go to the monitor. So like my shit wasn't fitting big, but it looked nice on me, but you couldn't tell. But I was holding my breath. And,
hey man, you said you still wearing your basketball suits?
Yeah, I was wearing the suits I was wearing when I was 215 and I'm 230. I was 235, 240 at that time. I'm just like, yeah, this shit don't go together no more.
Hey Matt, do you keep a jersey from each team that you played with?
I wish I did. I gave all my practice. I gave everything away.
Did you give it away because you wanted a separation?
No, I just gave it away because the homies wanted it, friends wanted it, people wanted it. You know what I mean? Not kind of thinking, I can always get another one, but I can never get one that I wore on that team. You know what I mean? I can get another jersey from any team that I played on made, but it's never going to be the jersey I wore. So I still got some jerseys. But like my Lakers stuff, my Clipper stuff, my Warriors stuff, my practice, all my homeboys got all that shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So they knew what they were getting too, though. Because I would have definitely asked you for some of the Lakers.
Yeah, no question.
So they knew what they was getting.
That Lakers shit went. Yeah.
So you never like go throw on an old uniform or no shit like that? Go to the
Hell no.
backyard?
You know what's funny? No, not to, so what's funny is I have a pair of Orlando Magic shorts, and this is 2009. So remember, this is 5X Pro Club tees.
Oh,
and
yeah.
shorts down to here. When I tell you, Big, like, bro, these shorts come like to here on me, and I'm just like, how the hell did we? And I'm in an NBA game. Bro, like, how did we ever wear clothes there? And I found it.
Does this shit look a little snug?
It's everything. No, I mean, I think this is more form fitting. I hope it never. Because I think we went to extremes. We went from super baggy to super tight.
Yeah.
You know, like now we're kind of a little bit of a free flowing and kind of in the middle somewhere. But yeah, man, I found some old 5X, 6X Pro clubs. Them shits went down to here. I'm just like, we were goofy as fuck wearing this stuff. What were we doing? But it was especially out here, everybody had the long Pro Club tees and the jean shorts that went down to your shins and the Air you still got the Air Force Ones will never go out of style. That was the hooper look, the rapper look, the street nigga look. Like we all had the same look.
Hey, Matt, with being 6'8" in the roster, on the court, and in life, what are some of the challenges? Like, say for instance, if you want to jump on a flight and go to Vegas real quick, right?
Yeah, I have to be careful.
You gonna have to pee in the airport, huh?
Yeah, nah, just gotta be careful. Like I can't do. If I had to sit in a regular seat, I can, but it can't be for a long time. So I have to be, you know. And I'm a big Southwest or Jet Suite X. So if I can't get the emergency exit, or you know. So I'm not too picky, but it's just.
Can you fit in that restroom on Southwest?
No, I can't fit in no bathrooms in the airport.
What the fuck does Shaq do?
Probably just pinch it, hold it, or fly private.
Damn. See, that's the gift and the curse that motherfuckers don't see.
Yeah, you don't think about that. I mean, luckily because I played sports, like, oh, where do you find clothes? Where do you find that was never an issue. It's just kind of fitting in shit. Like when I wanted the Ferrari and realized I don't have a Ferrari type frame, like I can't fit no Ferrari. You know what I mean? So just you have to kind of come to grips with. So.
Hey man, but so you say you didn't keep none of the Lakers stuff. There's some things that you did keep. Is your signature on any of the stuff that you had?
Probably. I have a couple team jerseys. The one thing I did, because I got a chance to play on different teams with some stars, I always got stars to sign their shit. So I got Allen Iverson jersey signed, Kobe jersey signed.
Allen Iverson is the reason why we were so baggy too.
Yeah.
Why y'all were baggy.
I was on that team. I was on the team when the David Stern changed the dress code, because I remember AI got hurt, and this nigga had the gold chains and the do-rags and the 4X Pro Clubs on the bench. Yeah. And David Stern said, we can't do this no more. Because, you know, Allen Iverson never missed no games. So he had a stretch where he missed, I wouldn't say 2 or 3 games, and he looked like he was going to the club after, which he probably was, but he was going from the bench to the club, and it's just like, we can't have this kind of representation. So I remember kind of when that started changing in the early 2000s. But yeah, he was I was so big to culture and basketball and music. It was incredible, his impact.
Hey man, do you feel like, because you had a chance to do a lot before social media and before the gotchas and all that kind of shit, what was that like before compared to what it is now?
Just getting a chance to really have fun.
Yeah, you can make a mistake.
I kind of think like.
I mean, I walked in on you smoking one time, and you looked spooked.
Where at?
Man, we were somewhere, but it was you and Dog, and I don't know if it was cool in the league or whatever. But then when you saw it was me, you was like, oh.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I mean, you just gotta kind of, because I'm in bars with the 60s smoking. You know what I mean? So I've always been and Snoop is one of the big homies. So I've just always been one of them athletes that really smoke. So it was just like, it was always kind of just, you had to kind of have, you know, you had to be responsible with it. I guess is the best.
Can they smoke
best word
now?
to say. Yeah, they could smoke. Funny shit. So I just got a call. I can't tell you who called, but I just got a call from someone at the NBA.
From who? No,
I was in Mexico last week, or 2 weeks ago now. I was in Mexico 2 weeks ago, and she called me. She's like, Matt, I need your help. All right, what's up? I need you to talk to these young players about smoking weed. I'm like, what you mean? Like, they're coming late and they're smelling like it and they're showing up to appearances. So I made like almost a 2-minute video from Mexico, like telling these young motherfuckers, like, this comes with responsibilities. Like, people lost their careers, their jobs, their money, their contracts were different. They were suspended for the freedoms that you guys have now. And you guys are coming smelling like it, showing up late, doing all kinds of different things, like having the league think about, hey, maybe we should peel back this freedom
you fought for this.
We fought for it, and guys during my run lost their careers, lost contracts, got suspended. Like, I don't think these kids understand the history of where they're at now and their freedom to be able to smoke. But again, it comes with smoking out the whole hotel. I'm just like, yeah, you guys gotta. There has to be some kind of game to you, so some kind of sense to you. You got to be professional on and off the course, especially when when cannabis is a freedom you have, but don't misuse it. Don't put them in a position where they may have to change rules because you guys can't handle that type of freedom.
Hey, Matt, did you have anything in your contract? Because I hear that in some NBA contracts, they say you can't ride a motorcycle, you can't.
I think it's kind of unspoken. Yeah, you're not supposed to motorbikes, snow sports, water sports. You're not supposed to do none of those.
Damn.
I wasn't one of them. I mean, I probably would have got on a motorcycle, but I'm glad that I wasn't allowed to. And now that time has passed my life, but I wasn't really into any of that kind of stuff anyway.
Explain the NIL deals now, because that's another thing that people lost a lot for.
Yeah,
they got
getting a little bit of money.
Chain or a little bit of money.
Getting a little bit of
Maybe
money.
there was something was going on and somebody gave them some rent money and they fucking lost it all.
Everything. NIL is like the Wild Wild West right now, because we were always fought for money. Because we feel like
and that's name, image, likeness.
We always fought for money from a standpoint. And I'm talking on a college level. It's starting as early as the high school level now, but on a college level, we know these colleges are making millions upon millions and billions of dollars off mostly black players' backs. You know, the two major sports in college are football and basketball. So you're thinking these schools are making millions and millions on top of millions of dollars, and I remember Chris Webber's, talking about the Fab Five, like they're selling my jerseys in stores. I only have money to get a sandwich. You know what I mean? So there's just certain situations where we fought for it, we finally have it, but there's no regulation on it now. So it's wild. And we talked before this show about loyalty and going somewhere and toughing it out, and it kind of builds character. I mean, I was someone that went to UCLA back-to-back #1 recruiting classes in the country, and I had a reality check when I got there, and I had to bide my time the first year and a half. I had to get better. Like, I couldn't pout. I didn't transfer. I didn't, why me? Like, I had to get better, and it made me get better, and it built character.
How long were you at UCLA?
4 years.
You did your 4.
Yeah, I did.
Because now, man, you're seeing
one and done. If that
one and done.
But I feel like there's going to be a lot of washouts because most kids aren't ready, and the league is so young. I remember when I came in the NBA, there were real vets, 38, 40, 41 years old. Some motherfuckers were smoking cigarettes in the locker room. It was just, they were there whether they were on the court or not. They were helping you get over stuff and learning stuff and showing you who to stay with and buy these suits you need to buy, and this is the kind where you should put your. But now the league is so young and it's drafted on potential, So now it's just such a younger league now that they want kids that are young, but for every 2 or 3 kids that become superstars, there's 200 kids that don't, that could have went to college for another year or 2 and then went to the league. So that's why I feel like and there's so many. Not just NBA, but dads that are involved in this game now that have kids, which I think is great, because to be able to kind of walk your kid down this process and show them, because there's so many. I feel bad for all those parents that just had to kind of figure it out on their own. I remember I sat down with you and your wife a handful of times during Jaden's high school process of like, hey, what should we do? What do you think?
We would call you, bro, and I'd be like, Matt.
Because
talk to you.
We've had a cheat code because I was a top high school football player and a top college player, and they made us the league. So there's just so many different pitfalls now that you could fall into if you're just trying to navigate it by yourself. But being too young, you got to think every single year, there's probably 200 kids, 250 kids in the draft, and there's only 60 draft spots every year. That doesn't change. There's 60 picks in the NBA draft, and over 200 to 300 kids every year in the draft.
Where do they go?
It's different now because there's more outlets to be able to try to find your way. The G League is an outlet now. Overseas is an outlet now. There's a bunch of different outlets. But once you get on those hamster wheels and those other places, it's hard to get back to the main spot. But so that's why with my boys, like, it's always been let's just continue to get better. Let's continue to get better. We're going to get through high school, right? Let's 2 or 3 years in high school. If it has to be, in college, it has to be 4. It's going to be 4. But knowing when they're ready to go, and instead of having the outside people or some agents, hey, this is – your sons. I know my sons well enough to know when they'll be ready. So as I said, I think a lot of the dads that are involved now are really going to be helpful along this journey because we know, to what pitfalls to avoid.
How do you remain calm at the games, though?
I had to get better at it because I wasn't big.
Right.
I got kicked out of Harvard Westlake, and I was suspended out of their gym for like a year. I finally talked to one of their heads. Shout out Harvard Westlake. So
was that with the little announcer dude?
Yeah, man.
I don't even want to go down there. He
they
were
earned that one. Disrespectful.
Hey, dude.
Big, and all I did was I put my hand on the shoulder like, who the fuck you think you're talking to?
Yeah,
like,
bro.
they were just, and I was talking to the refs, and then these 2 moms, sit your motherfucking ass down. It's like, excuse me? And then the kid says something to me, and I'm just like, yeah. I'm not even on you guys. And somehow, because obviously in my reputation, I was the aggressor, but I'm just like, I just asked this, just like I tell my son, like, don't talk to him. Like, who the fuck you think you're talking to? Yeah. That's all it was. But long story short, my suspension has been cleared and lifted, so I will be allowed back. But it takes time because, again, I feel like being the son of a person who has a little bit of light on, whether it be a celebrity, athlete, entertainer, whatever, like there's pros and cons to it. Some people are going to love you for that, and some people are going to hate you for that. And some people are going to try to shit on you for that. So it's just like, you can tell when stuff is not going a certain way and why it's not going a certain way. So whenever I saw that, I would just call it. You know what I mean? And some of the rest, like, you're right. You know what I mean? Quit bullshit, man. It had nothing to, like, let the kids play. No one came. I always tell refs, no one came to see you guys. No one's good. I'm getting dressed. I got some new shoes on, and this. I'm gonna go see the refs tonight. Like, no one ever comes to see the refs. Like, get the fuck out the way and let the kids play. That's what I be trying to tell these dudes, man. But long story short, it's a process. 'Cause that's your babies. You know, when I'm a coach, I have to be a little bit different demeanor. Obviously, when I was a player, I was a wild card. You never knew what you were gonna get from me. But obviously, as a father now, and in a position where I'm doing a lot of stuff, it just got, I have to kind of hold myself and understand, and I had to learn the hard way, which I needed. You know what I mean? I was doing a little too much. And
are you one of the most fined players?
Not, I probably was at the time, but the money's so different now. So the
the
guys
fines are different now, too.
I probably lost like maybe close to $500,000, $600,000 during my time, and at that time it was a lot, in fines. But I mean, now the fines are so ridiculous because the money's so high, so it doesn't really even compare to.
Do you ever think like there's sometimes you're like, man, I'm glad I dodged that, and do you ever think about other times like, man, I wish I was in that? And when I say dodge it, I mean, say for instance, like, you had to grow up, and a lot of the shit that you had to grow up in, if you can imagine, if every outlet, the cameras were on you, social media was on you,
probably wouldn't have worked.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have worked. You start back in college. Yeah.
When you look at the money now, do you ever look like, God damn it? Like,
I would have fell in line for the money they got now. But that's why I got 4 sons. Two of them motherfuckers gonna catch one of them big deals, big.
Hell yeah.
The money is too good. The money is out. I mean, we're 2 or 3 years away from NBA players making $100 million a year base salary. Baseball players baseball and basketball are the sports that are just like, holy cow. So, again, and not even being bitter off, I'm better than this, I should have got that. Just understand, okay, I missed that shit, but I got 4 sons. Someone's gonna catch it. Hopefully a couple of them catch it, like but the Holiday brothers.
I never see you on some hella basketball dad shit. You may be, but I never, how there's some dads, they yelling at the kids. I saw this one where he took his son off and punched his son in the stomach.
That's crazy.
And my wife and I was like, baby, I said, if you go over there and you say anything,
you gonna have to fight.
Then it's gonna be a situation, because if that motherfucker punched his son, then he definitely gonna say some crazy shit to you.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But because you got to think, people respond to things different, but nobody from a child to an adult likes to be yelled at. You know what I mean? And I came in the old school way where they could yell and cuss your motherfucking ass out, and I had to learn how to deal with it. But I just felt like no one likes to be screamed at, so why would a child like to want to be screamed? I had to learn this early. Not even that I was a screamer, but just getting down to, if you want these kids, this generation to follow, you have to earn their trust and respect. So I found out early on when I started coaching the twins. I'm 6'8", and these kids are 8 years old. I used to get down on my knee and talk to them just so they can see eye to eye, and I can really let them know that I'm here, I'm with them, I feel them, I understand them, but this is where we need to go as a team. So I've always kind of done that as a mentor and as a coach, because no one likes to be yelled and screamed at. Some people can handle it. I can handle it. There's some older school people that used to kind of move that way, but this new generation doesn't necessarily respond to that.
What do you feel about that Cooper Flag kid?
Love him. Yeah. I think he's very talented. I think the NBA pulled something off for him to be able to get to Dallas after they trade Luka.
Right.
But I like it. I think.
What do you mean by that?
It's just, there's certain things that happen. Like when LeBron goes to Cleveland, and he's from Cleveland, and Derrick Rose goes to Chicago, the first pick, and he's from Chicago. There's certain ways then balls get paused. The balls get played with to be favorable for teams. So, I think that was definitely a favor, or somehow, some way that was a favor, because the Dallas wasn't a bad team. They shouldn't have been the number 1 team to get the pick, but they do have him. And I think on the flip side, it's so important as a young player to go into an organization that's stable and has veterans and has great leadership starting at the top, and this new ownership of the Dallas Mavericks has to show that now. Their job is just not to fuck it up because they've done some questionable things in their short time taking over from Mark Cuban. But it's huge to go into just a good organization for these young, because these kids are so young, big. Like, these kids are teenagers and early 20s, and the world is given to them at a lot earlier now. So to be able to have some solid veterans around them and a good organization that can help him get to the next level as a person and a player is very important.
What about Bronny?
I think Bronny is tough from a standpoint of he's always going to be compared to his dad, or he's always, obviously LeBron's son is a huge gift and a curse. I think Bronny is going to be a very solid player in this league. Will he be a superstar like his dad? Probably not, but I wouldn't doubt that he has a chance to be an all-star or a sixth man of the year. He's a very smart, talented player who plays basketball the right way. He's someone that I felt could have used another year or two in college.
Right.
You know, because he had the heart issues, and he only played a handful of games at SC. I thought if he would have went back the following year, he would have got his feet under him and really understood how to be a man on a college team and then been more prepared for the league. But I think he's made such huge jumps from the time he's been out of SC to where he is now. So I'm happy for him. I was telling someone this the other day. In the summertime, I get to pick up basketball with the Twins at the district. And
you still get out there?
Every once in a while. It's the coolest shit in the world to me, like playing with my son. I couldn't imagine being a Laker with my son right now. Like, I mean, that's some of the coolest shit. Take away the championships and the MVPs. I think for Bron, that's probably got to be one of his greatest accomplishments, to have his son shining the same jersey as him, on the same bench, on the same court, on the same plane. Like, that's got to be just absolute, bucket list for a father who, has accomplished a lot.
Would you come back for one night?
I can't.
The Twins make it?
I couldn't. I'm gonna go back if
Does your body hurt after a game?
It would now.
Yeah.
It didn't really back then because I was a little bit young. I'm 45 now, so I'm out my window. But I did say that I'm probably like 30 or 40 units away from graduating college, which I really don't need my degree now. But if the Twins go to UCLA, I'm gonna go back to school and get my degree.
Whoa. Like with them?
Yeah, kind of like on some Van Wilder, old school type, Rodney Dangerfield type shit. Ain't no telling what might happen.
And you'll be on campus?
I'll be on campus. I might get an apartment out there and crack.
Hey, man, be all at the toga parties and shit.
Yeah, like, no, we talked about doing actually a show about that. It was funny. I told some people that as kind of just like, I really want. And then he's like, that's a show. I'm like, you're damn right, it's a show. Like,
hey, do you think in show mentality too now?
Huh?
Your creative process.
When I'm doing interviews, if you say something, I'm like, oh, they're gonna eat this shit up. Like,
clips and everything.
As I'm holding, because it's a lot. You're guiding the conversation. If it takes the left or right, you got to have questions to do that. But I've not mastered, but I've gotten to the point now where I'm running these conversations, and you say some gold, I'm like, oh yeah, they gonna fuck with this.
When I did the All the Smoke, did you know that when I was talking about putting the gun under my stomach? Hey, dude, were you not gonna ask me that question at first?
I didn't want to disrespect, because I've known you long enough to know who you were before. Obviously, everyone is. You're just not the same person. None of us are. And now you're a family man and a father and all this stuff. So some of the shit I used to hear about you back in the day, I'm like, damn. But I don't remember. We called someone who was close to you before we did this. I was like, you got to give me some shit on Big. Like, no, hating shit. Like, give me some funny shit. And he was the one that told
Preston,
me
you said.
Oh, yeah, Preston.
Yeah.
I forgot I told you.
Fucking Preston.
He's like, yo, ask him. I was like, you think he'll get mad? He's like, nah, he won't get mad. But I remember when I asked you, you kind of had like a little hesitation on your face, and then you went into full story mode. That shit was crazy.
Hey, man, but you said respectfully.
Yeah,
too.
I got to be.
And you know what's crazy? Even when the clip came out, remember the first thing I did? I said, man, take the clip down.
And I was like, all right, we can.
Yeah,
and then you changed your. We went
like,
back and forth.
Put it back up.
And then and it's
like
still,
these Disney deals ain't coming through. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, to this day, bro, it's one of the craziest stories I've ever heard in my life. And I was telling you off camera, like, that's the great, and I'm sure you've got to experience this for the last 30 years. Like, I get to interview people I love and respect. So to be able to get to know you and share dope stories and crazy stories with you, like, I know I love it, so I know the fans are going to eat it up.
It's crazy, man, because how long you been doing All the Smoke?
This is going to be about 5 years.
5 years, okay. So with All the Smoke, 5 years. I'm in year 31 of radio, right?
Crazy.
There's some of y'all, Joe Budden, $1 Million Worth of Game. Pick any of these podcasts, Mason Cameron. you guys have fucking lapped me now. You know what I'm saying? I remember I sat down. Remember we had a meeting with Matt about him signing us.
We did.
We sit down like, yeah, Matt. So, talk to me about this All the Smoke Productions.
Yeah. We wasn't ready for you at the time, but it's crazy because, and I almost feel like this about sports media now too, because I mean, you used to have to go to school for it and all this stuff, and then obviously your track record with your greatness on the radio for so many years, but this new digital space it came and athletes jumped on it and musicians jumped on it, and we cut the line. You know what I mean? And not to disrespect like the journey of a lot of people, but we were able to surpass some of the biggest and brightest names in the space.
And it's today's market price too. It's not even about cutting the line. It's about today's market price and coming in. Yeah. When you come in and get in where you fit in. And I'm telling you, man, it's like, back to hustling, man. If your shit ain't right on the block, your product ain't right, they're going to find the product.
Yeah, that blue magic. I like to have the best shit for the cheapest price. But when it was early on when we was doing this, I was always trying to talk to people like Gillian Wallow and Cam and Gilbert because it was such a new space. No one knew what no one was making. And everyone was kind of like, nah. So I started telling people like, first year with All the Smoke, we made $30,000. We had to chase that shit down. And then we signed a deal that took us into 7 figures. And I'm like, oh, shit, this is real. You know what I mean? So it went from, but if we don't know what each other's making, we don't know what to ask for because everyone was telling us, this is a new space. We don't know what the bar is. We'll set the motherfucking bar. Like, you got to show this winning awards off the rip. Like, you guys set the bar. So what I really had to do, that's what I actually appreciate about my journey. Obviously, I was the host and the talent booker and a couple other hats, but I got to learn the business side and the negotiation side of it. And I was actually the one that brought iHeart to what we were doing at Showtime and started getting paid for our audio and art. And we were the first, I want to say we were the first sports podcast to do that, to get paid for our linear, our digital side, which is what you see, and then get paid completely separate money, which was in great money for our digital side.
Damn. It's crazy, man, because like I said, I'm in year 31, but I always still get inspired. And I always tell people, I say, man, if I'm the smartest person in the room, then I don't need to be in that room.
Wrong room.
But I look at people and I'm like, man, I love what they're doing. And I love the move that they're making. And then the world is changing too, bro. And we had a conversation before we had a chance to sit down and hang out. The world is changing. And the way you approach things is different now.
Tomorrow I got to go to dinner with Mayor Karen Bass.
I'll be there.
Oh, you're going to be there?
No, I was just going to say, let me know, I'll be there. No, I wasn't invited, but
I'm going to, but part of my speech is just kind of how media is shifting and how politically people are using sit-down interviews in this fashion to get their message across and reach their audience. So, I mean, the way we consume news has changed. The way these sponsors are paying people to get their product out there or get their information out there is different now. You told me about, the type of money you were getting with radio initially with the car company and how it kind of trickled down, but then how you were able to work your play. But it's just these big companies aren't spending as much money widely now, but they're paying these influencers to do it.
Everybody now, bro, this right here,
that's all you need.
People super serving it.
That's all you need.
Like I can't tell you the last time I saw a trailer where I was like, oh, I gotta go see that on TV, whatever. Even when people talk about Super Bowl, like, oh, the $6 million commercial. Like now, you don't have to go $6 million for 30 seconds or a minute. You can put your 3-minute commercial up now. You don't have to wait for, like, even when you guys first started with All the Smoke, were y'all Showtime? And we were waiting on seasons. We were doing this, and now you ain't got to wait. And that's the same thing with the independent music game. Yeah. You don't have to wait when you're going to drop your album. You have to take it to somebody and say, hey, my blood, sweat, and tears. Now you take it and you run with it and you do what you got to do with it. You're just like, fuck it, I'll take it and I'll do it myself. And that's why I say now when people say, oh, gatekeepers, I'm like, man, that's not even an excuse anymore. Nope. Because for one, you could build your own fucking gate, or there's so many holes and gaps and shit in these gates now, bro, that if you waiting on somebody, then it's not them.
You're lazy. The problem. That's lazy. You got to go out. You can go out and get it now. There's no excuse with, like you said, with this computer in your hand. There ain't no excuse to not go get it.
Do you trip off of that though too now?
I love it. So I did a show a couple weeks ago. Is college important now? And the last thing I want to tell kids is like, don't go to college. But do you really need college to be successful these days? I don't think so.
Are you on top of AI?
No, but I saw there's some an AI. I saw an AI K-pop singer the other day, and it was incredible. I'm like, oh, it's over.
Dude, I was looking at this like Tai Chi ad that just popped up on my shit. And it was just others, like, you know, I'm in a lot of wellness and everything. And I'm like, man, I'm going to get this. And I'm looking at the dude do the speech and, you know, and his body and all this shit, older dude. Then I read the bottom, it was like AI fucking figure. And I'm like, hold on, man. Like, dude, like, I ain't going to look like this. It's all AI.
Ain't no telling. By the way, speaking of body, have you seen The Rock lately?
Yeah.
Is he healthy still, or is
think
it a role, or
he was just recently on the red carpet.
Okay.
And I think that he's probably lost
For
some
a
weight
role?
for a role.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping that's what it was for. Okay.
Yeah, you said, is he okay?
Man, because that motherfucker went from
man, you got a number on The Rock, man.
he went from He-Man to G.I. Joe. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I saw the pictures too, and I'm pretty sure if he stepped out in public, God willing, everything's good.
Right.
But I think it's more for
a role?
For setting up a role.
Good.
What do you do for leisure time? Are you a sci-fi guy?
I like to watch shows. I watch a lot of
documentary
Netflix. See, I'm more on shows. I love to watch shows. I don't mind docs. I just watched the Katrina. You see the Katrina doc?
Yeah, man.
That was sad.
Yeah, dude.
And it doesn't surprise me just how much racism played into that. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Great document on Netflix.
And
if
you
haven't
see
seen
it now because we felt it then, but now that you kind of get another
20
glance
years
at
removed and got to like kind of lift the covers up and see how it's played out to this day. You know how the blacks weren't allowed to or weren't getting the same pennies on the dollar to rebuild their shit as the affluent white neighborhoods were.
Yeah. Getting
crazy.
picked up, everything, bro. And when we fast forward to what we looking like now, not even just in the United States, the world, bro. Shit is, if you're paying attention, shit is crazy right now. But I tell people, I say, man, the United States is gonna be what it is. The world is gonna be what it is. We still gotta make sure
Be solid.
I'm eating and my kids are eating and I'm taking care of me and those around me and your community. And, and it's crazy, man, because you look now, what do you feel just about what's going on with politics right now?
Nasty.
Yeah.
You know, before, you know, respective Republicans and Democrats can disagree and it was just a disagreement, but I feel like there's been a line drawn, and I'm not saying everyone who supports Trump is racist, but all racist people support Trump. You know what I mean? I'm not saying everyone who supports him is a racist, but everyone who is a racist supports him. And it's unfortunate because you see from the stuff going on with the wars and the airstrikes and him trying to peel back museum history and peel back textbooks and then rename army bases after racist lead. It's just the shit is ridiculous, and I
think a lot of people too, Matt, don't pay attention.
No, because there's so much to pay attention to.
Yeah.
I mean, I only pay attention because I'm into politics, and you know, I do try to make a difference, and I've helped pass bills in my hometown, and you know, care about the police brutality and all that kind of stuff. So it is something that interests me. But for people who don't, when you do jump into politics, it's so much to catch up on. We weren't raised to sit at the dinner table talking about politics.
You see how he just pulled her Secret Service off of her?
Crazy, for no reason. And then the California Highway Patrol started doing her security. It's just little dumb shit like it's unfortunate, you know what I mean? But it's a playbook that we saw coming, and you know, the black and browns that thought they had an upper hand on, they had the cheat code, and this guy was going to do something for us, was, you know, that you look like idiots now. You know what I mean? You set us all back. But, I mean, that's hopefully, you know, we got midterms coming up next year, and people just understanding when we all got together, because black and browns are majority if we're together. They the only way we're minorities is when they keep us separated. When we're together, we're the minority. When we're together, we're the majority. And if we came together, and I'm, you know, taking the lead what Biden did, but we were able to win by such a huge landslide, they thought we were cheating. And it was just black and brown people came together, you know, for that one time and helped dictate what happened. But it's just, I feel like the key moving forward is, I mean, there's just, particularly in LA, I mean, it's always been a black and brown problem, but if we can find a way to come together, man, again, together we're the majority.
What do you feel about what you're seeing now with ICE and Border Patrol and
bullshit?
Home Depot snatch-ups
the biggest criminals sitting in the White House. None of these people they picked up have a rap sheet like the president.
Yeah, man.
None of them.
A fraction.
None of them all the felonies, all the sexual, all the sexual charges he has, all the fraud and charity work. It's just the dude is a walking fraud, but he's the one that's dictating, saying, hey, these are bad people, but they're not. I mean, brown people make the world go. Our Mexican brothers and sisters do all the work that we don't want to do, that other people don't want to do. I got a lot of, my kids are half Mexican, so I got a lot of love for the community, but it's just I've always been such a huge fan of people who work hard and they work hard. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's deeper than I guess my understanding, but just the hatreds towards the black and brown community just hurts my soul, because if we were able to come together, there's no telling what we'd be able to do.
And I think that's what, the so-called powers that be are afraid of as well. You know what I'm saying? You keep them at each other's necks, bro. And
keep us divided.
What are you listening to music-wise right now?
Nip still. I've been on a heavy R&B wave. Whether it's
like old R&B,
90s R&B is probably my favorite run, but Brent Faiyaz is I'm a big fan. I'm just there's a handful of these younger cats that
did you grow up with hip hop?
Yeah, I was I grew up on the radio. We didn't have money for CDs, so whatever was
on the radio.
Yeah, so I grew up, Snoop, NWA, Pac, Ice Cube. I grew up on West Coast shit because I was on the West Coast.
Did you ever trip that you majority of the names that you name, you know them?
It's crazy.
And they know you?
Crazy.
Yeah.
To call them friends, to call Ice Cube a friend, to call Snoop a brother. You know what I mean?
They ever hit you for Big 3?
Ice Cube came to my house and pitched, giving me a whole franchise. But it's when I coached the Twins. It's 10 weeks in the summer. So I was, daddy, once I retired, daddy duty was first. And so nothing came. So I never played. I actually when they came to LA a couple of weeks ago, I took the Twins and Ashton to it. And the Twins like, well, why did you ever play in this, Dad? Like, because I was coaching you motherfuckers.
Yeah,
that's why.
It's like, what the fuck?
During AAC.
Like, you're not going to bring me up in therapy.
Yeah, right. So I couldn't coach y'all. But no, I came to UCLA in 98, bro, and never left LA since. But to get to meet people like you and Snoop and Dre and Cube and all the amazing, it's just like, what the hell is going on?
Hey, man, back to the Big 3. If you put together a team for the Big 3, not a full roster, just 2 more people that you could play with, that complete your team.
DeMarcus Cousins. I just heard Klay Thompson said he wants to play in the Big 3. So me, DeMarcus, Klay, and then find one more person. I'll make CP come play with us too. So me, Chris Paul, Klay Thompson, and DeMarcus Cousins.
Do you have a ring, Matt?
Yep. Golden State.
You have?
Just one.
Just one?
Mm-hmm.
With Golden State. Where's your ring at? Well, I don't know. They're doing a lot of crazy shit out here in LA too.
At the house.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I was never really I'm not a big jewelry type dude, so it stays. I got the Twins rings too, replica. Them shits still cost like 15 racks. I got the Twins replica rings in my ring. Them shits was still crazy expensive.
And you never put it on?
I put it on to show people, like I've never worn it outside the house.
Is a ring a big thing though? Because it's gotta be, because with the ones that don't have it,
I think it's a badge of honor, but looking back on it, I'm 8 years removed. Take the money.
Really?
Unless, and I'm talking for people, if you're a superstar, superstars, rings count. If you're not a superstar, take the money.
Right. Sometimes it's like everybody get a ring.
There's some participation.
Yeah, you be like, man, what the
participation? Nah. Looking back on
your ring
now,
look all they look ring look different. Like, that's what they gave y'all.
Take if you're not a superstar, take the money. 'Cause them shits don't mean nothing when you're done.
Do you have a basketball player, Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, mine would be MJ, Kobe, Bron, Shaq.
It's a dope ass one. Man, thank you for hanging out with us.
Oh man, thank you for having me. It's always
I'm gonna
a
come
pleasure.
and do another All the Smoke, because I got
please.
another. I got
some
another
more
story
stories
to
for
tell
us.
you.
Yeah, come on, man.
You thought the gun under the stomach.
Listen up, I got a story to tell.
Yeah, man. Matt Barnes hanging out.